Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and today we have a very special Bourbon Skirmish in store. This Bourbon Skirmish is so special you couldn't even find it in a store. Any store ever. Today, we have the most rarest of Bourbon Skirmishes we've ever had on this channel. So if you're ready, or double very ready for this video, then hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because before you know it, two super special bourbons are going head to head. It's Eagle Rare 17 versus Double Eagle Very Rare. After the Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park 2023, Dan and Julie Like gifted to me the remainder of this bottle of Eagle Rare 17. It was bottled in summer 2020 and it's 101 proof. And Eagle Rare 17 is going in glass America that's labeled 17. There will be a full review of the Eagle Rare 17 coming soon on the channel, but before I review it, I must do it. And by it, I mean this Bourbon Skirmish. Tonight, doing battle against Eagle Rare 17 is a very special bottle. It's double extra very special. Thanks to Nick Jones and his wealth of knowledge and his wealth of wealth, Eagle Rare 17 is competing against the only Eagle Rare that's even more double very rare than itself. It's Double Eagle Very Rare. Heck yeah! Thank you, Nick Jones, you son of a bitch. Nick Jones is basically living the life I want. Drives an extra fast Mustang, has all the best bourbon, is extremely good looking, great tan. Oh, what a guy. My heart beats for the Nick Jones. It also skips a beat sometimes. Not for Nick Jones, just in general, because of my past obesity. Both of these bottles of Eagle Rare are what some economists would consider to be way outside of my budget. The 17-year retails for like $120, but you won't find it for that. How much does a bottle of Eagle Rare 17 go for on the secondary market? I have no idea. The Double Eagle Very Rare retails for the low price of a lot of money. This pour of Double Eagle Very Rare is probably worth my rent for the month. And this pour of Eagle Rare 17 is probably my Van Bergini payment that I'll still have to make even though I just totaled it in a damn flood. Son of a bitch. With that being said, time to bust out the Julie-like Wheel of Confusion, where we spin whiskeys with our eyes closed, so whichever whiskey goes, nobody knows where it goes. Got them both. Got them both. All right. I'll set one down in front of me. And I got a glass in my right hand. Which one is it? I have no idea. And neither do you. Which Eagle Rare will come out on top? The 20-year-old Double Eagle Very Rare at 90 proof? Or the much cheaper but still extremely way too much moneyed Eagle Rare 17 at 101 proof? Glass number one, giving it a good S&J. Wow, that smells like magic. This smells like a very aromatic sexual massage oil that's lubricating my nasal passages, rubbing them ever so thoughtfully, and then hitting spots in there that I didn't even know would excite me. It smells like an extra sweet, pretty darn oaky Buffalo Trace product that makes me extremely happy. That smells wonderful. Also, there's a bit of savoriness that's coming off of the nose of this glass, like a burnt end. Glass number one down the hatch. Wow, that's good. There's a very unique flavor in this glass that is kind of like giving me a spin job, my head and my mind. There's like a weird greasy note in the middle of this. I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's not like your extra oaky, extra sweet, delicious Buffalo Trace through and through, but through and through. And then all of a sudden it kind of like goes off in this weird direction that isn't bad at all. It's extra desirable. But then before it gets all the way through the second through, it kind of is manipulating itself and like shape shifting into a different kind of whiskey that I'm unfamiliar with. Am I the world's top whiskey taster? Obviously, and don't forget it, but sometimes some things throw me for a bit of a loop-ski, especially things that I haven't necessarily tried very often. Whatever is in glass number 1 is fantastic, but I'm gonna try glass 2 and then come back to glass 1 to see if that note is still there or if it was just my imagination. Huh. Glass number 2 is like a little bit of sandalwood or driftwood. This smells like you spilled a pitcher of cherry Kool-Aid on some driftwood. And that driftwood were on some beach rocks. It's like hot rocks, driftwood and Kool-Aid. And actually I'm getting less of a Buffalo Trace nose off of this than I did on the first glass. All right, glass number 2 down the hatch. Dang. It is sticky and sweet and lingering. It's kind of grabbing a hold of everything in the mouth and doing its little dance of like vanilla, cherry, a little bit of sugar cookie, which is delightful, and then a lingering sweet oak on the finish that's just hanging around like cuddles after sexy time. Second sip, glass 2. So much flavor, such a concentrated, delicious flavor that, man, that is fantastic. I wish I had more of that. Back to glass 1. Glass number 1 is a bit more delicate. It is very reminiscent of glass number 2, but seemingly a little bit on the lighter side, but also offering maybe another layer of flavors that glass number 2 didn't, but that layer of flavors isn't anything better than what glass number 2 can provide. It just kind of amps itself up a notch halfway through the palate, shifts in a bit of a different direction, gets a little bit, what's the word for rocky? There's like earthy and like herbally and floral, but if something were rocky, what would you call it? Archaeological? No. I don't know, forget about it. My dad would just call them sex stones because he says that they're just fucking rocks. And speaking of things that fucking rock, both of these glasses are superb. So damn good. So damn good. I do believe that the edge on the nose has to go to glass 1, but the palate and the finish and the overall experience, glass number 2 is gonna take the cake. So I'm calling a stop to this Bourbon Skirmish at 1 minute and 44 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner due to a submission from a knee bar, glass number 2. If I had to guess, I do believe that glass number 2 is probably gonna be the Eagle Rare 17 because I think it just packed a little bit more of a punch and coming in at a higher proof, but then again, I could be wrong. Let's find out. Glass number 2 is in the glass labeled 17. I was right. Therefore tonight, Eagle Rare 17, the cheaper varietal, defeats the Double Eagle Very Rare in a very close Bourbon Skirmish. This, of course, is something I had to do. I know that everybody in the comments will be like, oh, Matt, drinking whiskeys that nobody will ever be able to lay their hands on ever again. La 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 la. You know, blah blah blah. Well, listen, shut up, first of all. Super sorry, but shut it. Second of all, shut it, still shut it, because you're still going. All right, thank you. Third, obviously I had to do this. How many people have the opportunity to put Double Eagle Very Rare against Eagle Rare 17? Nobody I know, except for Nick Jones. But when given an opportunity to put together such a skirmish, like Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, You just have to do it. You just have to do it. If they're willing participants, you gotta lock them in the steel cage known as my mouth and have them duke it out. Thank you so much, Dan and Julie, for the Eagle Bear 17. Just when I thought I couldn't love you anymore, you go and do something like this. And then Nick Jones just coming in hot with a double Eagle Very Rare sample that he pulled out of his warm front pocket, which was sitting next to what I can only imagine is a hog, right? You know? Got everything else, probably has a monster in his pants. Super epic Bourbon Skirmish. Can't thank you enough. Also can't thank the viewers and my Patreon community enough for watching all this crap and making all this possible. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do it. Leave a comment below. Have you ever seen a pour of Double Eagle Very Rare in a bar of any kind, and how much was it? I would just like to know what a Double Eagle Very Rare ounce goes for, because it can't be cheap. It can't even be expensive. It's gotta be like, wow, you know, like wow. My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on not driving your vehicles in torrential rainstorms. Even if your wife is craving an Oreo McFlurry and you wanna be the hero, just stay home. Don't go out in bad weather, even if you don't anticipate the bad weather turning into flash flooding. Just stay home and tell her that she doesn't need an Oreo McFlurry, you know? Now, be nicer than that. But if you do go out to get an Oreo McFlurry because you just feel like she deserves it, and you want just a little bit of credit, if you do go out in the rain, then make sure that when you enter a roundabout with water in it, that water isn't going to get sucked into your intake and into your motor, stalling your motor and killing your Lamborghini, resulting in epic damage. Son of a bitch. Not the best time to be upside down on a loan, if you know what I mean. Love you all so much. See you next time. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. AC Slater.